Hi there and welcome to the Guitar Fingers video on scales to music. We're looking at a grade 5 scale now. This is F major, but of course the backing tracks, you just download the backing tracks for each of the scales that you're doing. There's 2 majors, 2 minors, and you can just play along using the same principles that you're going to learn for the F major one that we're going to do here. So the first thing to mention really is we're going to learn the scale. Well, you should have learned the scale, you should have learned the arpeggio. We're going to play those to the backing track, and then we're going to learn to improvise, just make our own music using those. So I'm not going to teach the scale here. You need to know that and be comfortable with it and play it up to the correct tempo, which is going to be about this kind of tempo. See, I'm playing it in the style that's written there, so each tonic note is held as a crotchet and the rest are quavers. When we improvise, we'll play around a little bit with that. The arpeggio, of course, is written as thumb, 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 and then I, M, A. Okay, so again, when we're improvising, maybe we'll just stick to fingers because it's hard to swap between thumbs and fingers when we're kind of playing the arpeggios in a more, if I like say, in a scalic way. So we're just kind of playing up and down them, but we'll see how we get on as we go. Right, so on the assumption you know your scale, this will test you out, because playing to the backing track, if you don't know it, then you won't be able to play along to the backing track, and therefore you need to learn it a little bit extra. Okay, so I'll play the backing track, and what we can hear is I've not done a straightforward kind of 1, 2, 3, 4 type thing. I've done a Latin American rhythm that goes something like this. Much more interesting rhythmically to listen to, and I've also kind of changed the chord from being a full-blown F major to F major 7th, and that means that that E note, when you get to the major 7th note, the E to F, will sound a lot more comfortable in there, so it just gives it a nice feel all round. So I'll play the backing track, I'll play up and down the scale, and you can see what it sounds like. We've got a 4-click count. The first one on this video is a bit quiet, but when you play the backing track on the computer, it should be okay. 2, 3, 4. So you can see what's going on now. It sounds much more comfortable and musical as opposed to just playing the scale on your own. The arpeggio. Okay, so it doesn't sound too bad. It sounds a little bit boring because it's just an arpeggio up and down, and we really want to make that far more musical. So what I'll do, I'll just stop the backing track, and then I'll bring it back to the beginning. And what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to show you how I play. Obviously the backing track's quite long, so you can play the scale or the arpeggio up and down, up and down, up and down, and it'll work out just fine, just as practice. Now I'm going to play and improvise a little bit with that scale. So I'm going to split it into 2. We've got the first octave. Okay, so I'll improvise with that, and then I'll change to the middle octave, the next octave, sorry, and play a little bit with that. I might give some ideas as I'm talking, as I'm going along, but let's just see what it sounds like. And of course, when we're improvising, some things will sound good, some things won't, and of course we'll make some mistakes. But that's how you learn how to play the scale fluently, an arpeggio fluently, and learn from your mistakes. They'll get better, and you'll stop making so many. But it's improvisation. When it's done, it's finished. If you find something that you like, of course, write it down, and then you can work on that later. So it's kind of telling me that really to move on. So here we go to the next one. around those notes. Wrong one, A, C. But I'm not too bothered about that. If I make a mistake, it doesn't matter. It just means that you have to concentrate, because I'm trying to talk as well, and that's what you'll find as you're thinking of different things. You'll make the mistakes, but that's okay. We learn from them, and you soon just get the set pattern in your mind and some ideas. So here's an idea. I used it on the grade 4 video. Apple pie. Apple pie. Apple pie. Different rhythm. So let's see what that sounds like. Playing now with the rhythm as well as the notes, and that'll sound quite interesting. 3, 4. Apple pie, apple pie, apple pie. Much more interesting. Apple pie, apple pie, apple pie. Okay, so now I'm going to change the octave to say same thing but different now. Apple pie, apple pie, apple pie, apple pie. So just playing around. Arpeggios. Okay, so you can see there that just playing around with the rhythms, just having a bit of fun, just means that you can start to make your own music, and this is what this video is all about. It's learning the scale. If you can play to the backing track, both your arpeggio and the scale at the correct tempo, then that's it. You've cracked that side of it. Now make it musical, make it interesting, because if you want to ever make your own music, this is exactly how you do it. You need obviously sometimes have an accompaniment, and you can find lots of people to play with that will do that, or just create your own backing tracks and create your own music. It's just the way that you really want to be heading, not just using scales as just technical exercises. Okay, well, have fun with that, and have fun playing to the backing tracks for the other scales and arpeggios.